Today, we're going to be talking about one of the biggest mistakes the Downey City Council has ever made in the 70-year history of our great city. Hi, I'm Mario Guerra, two-time former mayor of the great city of Downey, and you're listening, Talking Downey with Mayor Mario. Okay, so today, with that build-up, I do want to talk about something that's so important. People haven't realized yet what's going on, or people don't understand, or people don't care. So today's episode is exactly to talk about what's going on in the city regarding redistricting. This is huge. This is so important. It's amazing that we've gotten this far. Let's back up a little bit. Okay, so last year in November, we get a letter from this fly-by-night lawyer, used to be a council member in La Mirada, resigned, went to Anaheim to run for city council in November. He got his butt kicked. He was embarrassing. But now he's making the rounds kind of like this little shyster lawyer. So he is now the lawyer for the city of Huntington Park. He's been representing the city manager, which, of course, you know, got indicted. They all got arrested. We've been hearing all the bad things about Huntington Park. But he swoops in there and becomes the new city attorney for Huntington Park. Got no business being a city attorney. But he sent out one of those ambulance-chasing lawyer-type letters in November saying the city of Downey is violating the California Voter Rights Act, okay? Because we have 4 districts and 1 at-large district. We have 5 council members. It's worked for 70 years. It's amazing. The Voter Rights Act basically is so that nobody's disenfranchised, so all 5 people don't live in the same district. But he sends out this letter to us saying we're in violation of that. Folks, we're not in violation. I don't care what anybody tells you, the lawyer, anybody on the city council, we're not. Because you know what? I am not disenfranchised. I live in District 2. I have 2 representatives. All 115,000 people in the city of Downey, you currently have 2. You have your district one, and then you have the citywide one, which is Mario Trujillo. So I live in District 2. I am blessed to have Mayor Hector Sosa as my representative. District 3 has Dorothy Pemberton, District 4 Claudia Fermetta, and District 1 Horacio Ortiz. Mario Trujillo represents all 5 districts on there. That's worked for 70 years. There's been giants in our city, the Meredith Perkins, the Dave Gaffins, the Alex Saabs, the Rick Rodriguezes, that have agreed that this has worked well for our city and didn't want to change it. But yet our current council thinks they're smarter than everybody else for silly reasons, in my opinion, on there that they want to change it. Some of them are saying, oh, it's because this lawyer, we don't want to get involved in litigation and so forth. You know what? So what? Sue us. Sue us. This is worth fighting for. You have cities that have no district. The city of Cerritos just had a citywide election. They elected 3 new council people. They have no districts. Okay, so is it like they haven't gotten to them yet? As somebody might suggest, come on, baloney. This guy saw an opportunity. And this lawyer, by the way, his name is Andrew Saraga. Check this out. He represents the city manager from the city of Huntington Park before he got indicted. Guess what? The city manager for Huntington Park lives in the city of Downey. Okay? Show us the plaintiff. Come on, Andrew Saraga, show us who your plaintiff is. Tell us who's disenfranchised on there, who is being, it's just disingenuous. It's completely silly. So now our council people have said, well, people in Downey don't know who their representative is. Who cares? It's not the city's fault. Oh, it costs too much for a run for District 5. Who cares? It costs a lot to run for District 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay? That's just the nature. You don't have to. People send out more mailers and hire more people for them, but you don't have to. From a residential standpoint, I'm not willing to give up a representative that represents me just because, oh, somebody didn't bother to take the time to do that. Everybody, the phone number for the city council is the same for all 5. 562-904-7274. 562-904-7274. And by the way, that's the same number. The council secretary will answer the phone. If they're not there, and they're usually not there during the day, some of them are on there, leave them a message with your phone number for you to call back. Folks, that doesn't matter where in the city you live. So to say out loud is like, oh, there's a confusion about who represents who. Well, it's been that way for 70 years. And you're saying all of a sudden that's a crazy idea that, oh my goodness, let's have district. That's not going to change. If you now have 5 districts and you're going to confuse the people in the new district in the middle anyways. So what difference does it make? If I didn't know that I happen to live in District 2, why wouldn't I know? I know that, Rocio Ortiz is a council member in Downey. Why wouldn't I have called him? And you know what? Most council people in the city of Downey will respond to any resident. It should not be about districts. When you're elected to that position, it should be about representation. Let's take Mayor Meredith Perkins on there. Dear man, dear friend. He's the one that asked me to get into politics. A giant of ethics and wanting to help people. So we were looking, it was his idea, a new skate park, for skateboards. He could have insisted in going to Apollo Park in District 2, but he found the right place at Independence Park in District 1. He did the right thing. When we were doing the walking tracks, okay, and I was able to secure grants to do the walking talk from a healthy walking grant that was out there from LA County. Guess what? I thought the best one was going to be at Furman Park. That's not in my district, in District 2. Furman Park is District 3. But it should have gone there, and it did. But then all of a sudden, we got lucky, and we applied for the second one, and we did get it over at Apollo Park. So we got these 2 walking tracks. When Treasure Island, that's in District 3, when they needed help for their parks and everything else, and I happened to be mayor, I worked with my colleagues, all 5. Nobody cared that it was in District 3. We all knew that it needed fixing and it needed that land changed, and we know we needed to help the residents. We came together as a council. So it doesn't matter what district it is. You do the right thing when nobody's looking, or you do the right thing regardless, because you're looking at the city of Downey. So what's happening now? So the threat of a lawsuit comes in, and the city starts caving in. Oh, it's going to cost money. We're going to get sued. So they hire a mapographer, and they go through all the districts saying it has to go to all these public hearings. And I'm hearing the same things from the council members. Oh, we have to do this. We're getting sued. But now I'm hearing, well, even if we weren't sued, we were looking at this in the first place. That's bad. If you were already talking about redistricting and making it 5, shame on you. That's really, really bad, because there was no reason to do this. And sometimes I feel that they're doing things check, 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 and then either that helps them in their reelection, or they want to say they got something accomplished. And if that's the reason, that's shame. Now, I want to commend, I know all 5 of them. They're all good people, okay? So if this is harsh, it should be harsh, because they're changing the way I live. They're changing the way my entire community lives. They're changing our way of life. The ramifications of this are going to be felt. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but I promise you they will be changing. And when we elect the wrong person, or we don't get representation, or what if your council person is been lazy and so forth, using this scenario that you have now on there. So technically you don't have anybody, okay, under the things that they're saying, because I'm now losing my District 5. So if District 5 is lazy, at least I have District 2. So anyways, I do want to thank Hector Sosa, Mayor Hector Sosa. He pushed back against this. He was the 4-1 vote saying, let's not let this guy bully us around. Let's not get this lawyer tell us what to do. And we shouldn't be doing this in the first place. There's no reason to do this, okay? Although they had been talking about it. But, so again, I want to start with the premises. Council people, they're not bad people. They're not doing this to enrich themselves. But it's a really, really bad idea. It's one of the worst things I've come across. To change the way we do business in the city of Downey, there is a terrible injustice that's just, there's no reason to do it. You can make all your arguments on it that, the Voter Rights Act or this lawyer might sue us and stuff. Guess what? We have a defense. And even the lawyers and even the mapographers, we have a pretty good defense. Show me how anybody in the city of Downey is disenfranchised with the current situation when you now have 2 representatives. When this passes, we will only have 1. Is that better to have 2 than it has 1? Of course it is. So let's not make it excuses about it costs more to run a campaign, that the residents are confused, that it's out there. That's hogwash. That's just words. That's absolutely just words. So to me, thank you, Mayor Hector Sosa, for pushing this. To the rest of the council, I hope they look at this. I hope they look at who came before them. This has been talked about. Every time somebody gets on the council, you always want to say, okay, how can we make things better? Noble idea, great idea. I talked about extending term limits. And I think that, like the city of Cerritos, that after you're out on there, you can sit out a term and then come back. Guess what? The residents of Downey didn't like that. Okay, so they voted no on it. But I tried my very first year in the election. It wasn't self-serving. I was willing to exclude myself. I still think that they should do that sometime, because it's not right that residents can't vote on somebody even after they've been out of office. Cerrito has that. Long Beach has the right in, so it's out there. So to the Downey City Council on there, please reconsider this. This is a bad idea. Thank you, Mayor Sosa, for doing this, for pushing. I know you got outvoted. Sometimes that one vote is the right vote, and it's okay to stand on an island for the right things. There's things that are being voted on sometimes, too, that we're just saying that we're doing this just to make a point or saying we did this. Recently, on the Planning Commission, it was a 4-0 vote on the Planning Commission to grandfather in certain alcoholic establishments, 14 of them that we had in the city, from this new ordinance that's being proposed that's going to go to the council. And the ordinance being proposed is that you can't build a alcohol establishment within 500 feet of a school, of a hospital, or of a park. Great. Sounds great, right? Okay. I totally agree. We have a lot of alcohol places on here. But guess what? It excludes downtown Downey, and it grandfathers in all the particular businesses. We haven't had anything that meets that criteria in over 20 years that's ever been built here in the city of Downey. Because, and the thing was, residents want less alcohol. Residents want, there's people that are drinking too much in downtown Downey. The new Ojos Locos, the Tiempo Cantina. I get all that. But sometimes by adding new ordinance and new things doesn't change a thing. This new ordinance would not change Ojos Locos, would not have changed Tiempo Cantina. It would not have changed anything in the downtown Pacific plan or the Lakewood Boulevard corridor. This is simply to say, residents, on there, the 3 or 5 of you or 11 that complain, look, I did something. We're putting in less alcoholic establishments. Okay, great. Let's feel good. Took staff 500 hours of staff time. It's been going on for a year. There's been a lot of discussions, and yet there's nothing that's going to do better. I don't know, being close to a hospital, we laughed on the Planning Commission saying, I don't know if there's any alcoholic doctors, but okay, that's got to be good to not make it ready to be accessible. I'm being sarcastic. But the 5 on the Planning Commission, actually 4, one of them, Hector was not available because his mom has been very ill and he had to fly out to visit her. But George Cycli, Carrie Uva, Gil Legaspi, and myself thought that if you're a business there, you should be grandfathered. If you have an establishment and the place next door opens up under the ordinance, you wouldn't be able to expand or take it over, and yet you have a lease. So anyways, sometimes ordinance are not the best. The same thing with the tobacco one. We did the same exact thing last year. Okay, have there ever been an issue of a kid buying cigarettes or tobacco products that was close by and the police have been reported, or any incidents on there? And when we asked, the answer was no. Do we want less tobacco places on there? I personally do, okay? But it wasn't an issue, it wasn't a problem. It's a good thing to say, oh, look, we stopped that, okay? And they're not close to schools now the way that things were in the sensitive areas. So we're feeling good about it. We took up a lot of staff time that people don't realize. And that's what sometimes you look at things, it's like you look at the list, and we'll publish the list from the last council meeting of the things that we looked at. I get it. I always had a long list when I was in office. I want to get things done. But there's a lot of things now that should be getting done that sometimes the staff has to prioritize. Yes, the council has to vote on a second to make the staff do it. That's the Catherine Alvarez rule, if you will. Because when she came in, remember the lady that got recalled for her unethics and for her criminal record that we didn't know about, she kept bringing up everything at every meeting for the, it was like the staff was her own personal staff. It got to be too much. They were concentrating too much and trying to get and there were some silly and crazy things. They made a rule saying somebody else on the council has to say yes, because if not, there's no opportunity for it to pass. So that's the Catherine Alvarez rule. So even today, she is still hindering our city. Folks, let's go back to redistricting. We're going to show the maps on here. The one that they're leaning on is a new district in the middle. Folks, just please, I hope they reconsider. Terrible, terrible mistake. First of all, that bully lawyer, okay, bring it on, okay? He kept, after he made the letter, he kept calling and asking for his money. He kept calling and asking for money. This is like an ADA lawyer that, sues 10 different cities because the bathrooms were half an inch too big or so forth, okay? And it takes away from the legitimate lawyers, okay? And it takes away from legitimate complaints on ADA, on bigger items, because you have nuisance suits. This is a nuisance suit. The city of Downey was not disenfranchising anybody, not. Our city council should have pushed back and said, don't do this, or no, we're not doing it. And what's their answer? Well, we should have done it anyways because we want that 5th district. That is nuts. It's worked for 70 years. I hope they reconsider. I want to thank you, Mayor Sosa, for having the guts and the gumption to say no, bring it on. Okay, we're the city of Downey. We're not going to have some shyster lawyer that's not qualified to free from HP, that now lives in Anaheim, that wrote a letter, and tell us who the plaintiff is. Tell us who that is. So anyways, I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Please feel free to call me. This is one of the most important issues happening that you don't know anything about, or most people don't know. It's a little hypocritical to say, oh, the residents don't know who to contact as their council people, when yet you're doing this. How many residents really know about this mapping and the re-swamping of their council people? Tell me one person that thinks that one council person is better than 2 council people representing them. I can't think of it, okay? And it's politics if you say, oh, it costs more to run a district-wide on there. Who cares? That's just politics, not policy. This is policy. Nobody's telling you need to spend a lot of money running in District 5. Nobody's telling you need a lot of money to run in District 3, 2, 1, or 4. But people do spend it. They go out there, they hustle, and they raise it. Okay, so sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes it's about doing the right thing. And the right thing for our residents is to keep it the way it is. So I hope they reconsider. I hope they look past this. I hope residents let them know this. Folks, wake up. You're going to notice this in 3 years. You're going to notice this in 5, 8 years. When a new council is elected, all 5 of them that are there now will be gone in the next 6 years. So when a new council person gets elected and you have 2 good people from one district, and guess what? They can't run. And they can't even run in District 5. That's what I like about this. Let's say in District 1, you have 2 really good people. You have Horacio Ortiz now when he runs for re-election in a couple of years, and you got, Maria Rodriguez. That's just a name I made up, okay? And Maria Rodriguez, and you want her. She's good. She's involved in the community. She's involved there. It's really hard to take on an incumbent. Guess what? Under the current one, she could run for District 5. They could both run. But now under this silly rule, only Horacio Ortiz, well, they could still run, but the power of the incumbency is strong because if he's done a good job, which he has, Horacio Ortiz, he should be reelected. So Maria Rodriguez, fictional name, now has to sit on the sidelines for the next 8 years. Folks, this gives people and residents an option. This gives people that are like-minded, that are civic-minded, that want to serve an opportunity. Just because where you live and you're 2 blocks away should not hinder you. Our community, our city already always had an answer for that. We have 5 districts, 4 districts, and 1 district wide. We are not in violation. Look at other cities. Our council thinks they're smarter than some of our giants. They haven't given one good reason. Okay, the money of running a council on whoever the phone calls or the residents don't return the phone calls or all the calls go to one person. That's just silly. That's politics, and that's silly, and there's reasons to be able to fix that. So. Anyways, council, if you watch this, nothing personal. I think they're all good people. I think they're misguided. I think their judgment in this is clouded, especially when they say they were already looking this. But I'm going to keep pushing back, and I'm going to keep saying, Mayor Hector Sosa, thank you so much for taking a leadership role. You might end up losing this, but people are going to see that you were the one that was pushing to do the right thing. 70 years of history of an incorporated city has already proven that this is a fact, that this is a good way of doing it. But yet, our council thinks they know best. I disagree with them. I welcome your comments. Please like and subscribe the issue. If you like it, I welcome your comments. My cell number, 562-706-4114. I hope you appreciate my passion. I am passionate about our city. There's a lot of great things happening here. We're going to talk about some of the things that are opening up. By the way, the new Sizzler is getting ready to open up. I was there yesterday and saw the inside with the manager. They had a franchise show. That's going to be awesome. There's 2 or 3 new developments. We got giant development. We got $100 million developments. We got 2 possible ones that are being worked on right now, and I'll tell you more about them later. A lot of good stuff. This is a blip in our history, but it's an important one. And this is something that the council got wrong, and they should be called out on it. And I'm sorry. I've actually lost sleep over this. That's how much I care. That's how much I happen to know. And a lot of the former mayors that talk to, they're like, are you kidding me? We all agree that this is not the right way to go. But they're in elected office, which we all helped them to do. But folks, let your council people know your opinion, but get informed. That's the key to it, getting informed. Most people don't know this right now is going on. So I welcome your comments. I welcome your thoughts. Thanks for putting up with my rambling. We'll be sharing this very soon on there. And don't be afraid to contact your council people and let them know what you thought. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to Talking Downey with Mayor Mario. Hey folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Talking Downey and Talking Politics. With over 100,000 views, we're up and going, and thank you to you. We appreciate your confidence in coming back and listening to our shows and our podcast. We encourage you to like and subscribe and also share with others because that'll make a difference. Folks, all the things going on nationally in politics are very important, but what really impacts you and me every day is what's happening here, not only in the city of Downey, locally, but also in the state of California. And we welcome that opportunity. Like and subscribe, reach out to us, and let us know some of the issues, some of the guests you'd like to have on our shows. Thanks for watching.